Didn't expect to be sitting here today. Uh, I've been wondering for quite a long time in my life if I've had autism and like all the other things. Like we don't need to go into specifics here, but I always felt like something was wrong. Um, Getting diagnosed um, for that at like 17, I was like right below the line for Asperger's, and that kind of upset me. I I couldn't really understand. Like there always something always felt wrong. You know, it's just something being weird. I'm really good with computers. I'm really good with like this and that, and um, I'm very impulsive and all these other things. So like, part of my brain too is like, does, does this guy? Do I have ADHD? And well, for a while there, throughout my life, it's always been in the back of my mind, and I even went through some school papers lately, and it's clear that they healthcare system didn't really think that I had ADHD, but it was very clear based on written testimonials from teachers and all that stuff. And my mom's pushed very hard in my life to try and get me tested, and nothing really went through. So I decided, you know what, let's try it at age soon to be 29. And wouldn't you know it, I got papers for the diagnosis. And what I didn't expect from that was getting diagnosed with agoraphobia. I think it's pronounced. I'm still getting used to the naming here, but it's it it's kind of relieving in a way, because throughout my childhood there's been a lot of like weird situations of my dad having an abusive ex-girlfriend, um, and having to suffer with like a lot of bullying and from school to like private life. Um, yeah, so makes sense why I never really want to leave the door sometimes. It's it's that mentality in the back of your mind that, taking the train, um, it's like this repulsive thing that kind of makes your skin crawl. Like you don't necessarily want to leave the house because you think you're lazy. You think that going to the store is it's just you being lazy, but in fact, it's like as soon as I walk in the mall when there's so many people, it makes me exhausted. And I've always been afraid of failing and losing control, and it makes sense. And I guess if you ask, what is agoraphobia? It's an anxiety disorder, which, according to Google, if you read this out loud, is an anxiety disorder characterized by intense fear of situations where escape might be difficult or where help is unavailable. If a panic attack were to occur. So it's not necessarily the being afraid of being in public. I can go out, I can be with friends. That's not a problem, but it's like trying to like go out on my own. It's like the thought of me going to the cinema alone is like, no, I couldn't do that. The thought of me going to the mall alone is like, why? I go to the store because I have to. I need food, right? But it's like, it's so strange because like, think to back now with my ex-girlfriends, like, the fire alarms would go off sometimes, obviously because of bad batteries, is what I found out now later on. It's like some of these batteries we were using would just completely just die on us. At least the batteries that would like sync up between the alarms and not necessarily the fire alarm battery itself. And so the fire alarm would just kind of go off on its own, and we were trying to figure like why is this happening. But so at one point we ended up disconnecting all the fire alarms, and my brain is immediately like, well, we need to put them back up because like if fire goes out, this is bad, right? And it's just when I see this person that I lived with was just saying like it's not that big of a deal. Some in the back of my mind is like, well, this is a big deal. Like, what if you sleep through the fire, right? Like, my brain is just going at 100, just trying to like telling me all the possible scenarios of like what will go wrong, and I'm like, literally the anxiety is just building up, and I'm like, this needs to be fixed, right? It's the same thing when I go to the mall. It's like there's so many people. It's like it feels like it's gonna get cramped. And I don't really know why I'm making this video. My brain tells me that talking about this stuff can feel a bit... It feels wrong, you know? But at the same time, I never really had heard about agoraphobia before. I've heard a lot of like disorder, like phobias in general. It's like spiders, holes. Like there's a lot of them. But like agoraphobia, I never heard that term when I got my diagnosis, and I never thought to myself that that was something that I had. I thought to myself that maybe part of me is like has imposter syndrome or something, because every time I'm at work, I feel like I'm not doing good enough. I feel like I'm not showing enough workmanship. I feel like I'm failing the team that I work with. Yet these last couple of years, I'm working as a consultant, which I've never done before in the IT field. We are required by the company that I work for to deliver or hand out reports to customers once per year, and that the customers fill out a report of like how happy they are with their employee, and seeing those reports coming back and saying that I'm above expectations, to me is just like mind-boggling. It's like, what? How can you view me as this exceptional guy when in my mind I'm like I'm literally afraid to like fail the team. Like I literally deleted a whole development database, and somehow they still like they still found it fine. And like the fact that the development database didn't even have a backup is like, well shit, now we've just kind of wiped the whole thing. It's like clean. And I'm the type of guy that's just gonna keep rambling on, but I thought it would be nice to kind of film this in Minecraft with a Ribbits mod. I find the music soothing and it's relaxing, but I don't know. I felt the need to share. And thinking about it now, going back in my early years, from traumatic sources from when I was younger, all the way up until I was like 20, um, abusive ex-girlfriends, ex-girlfriend on my dad's side, family issues. Not gonna talk about too much into that, but family issues during studies, um, literal house fire that happened during New Year, where we had to literally move out. Luckily that didn't burn down, but I lost a lot of good stuff, and it's just, uh, you know, it's crazy. Every time the fire alarm goes off, I panic. Just like, yeah. But hey, at least now everybody knows, right? I'd like to make more content at some point. I just don't feel like I have the energy for it. But I still do. But it's hard to focus. And now that I've been diagnosed with ADHD, I'm hoping that within time, and having talked to my doctor and psychiatrist, that I can possibly start meds. But the waiting lines are long, and God knows when that's gonna happen. But I might speed up the process a little bit if my wallet can seem to fit it. Either way, thanks for listening to me rant for 12 minutes. But yeah, I'll just leave you with the minute here of just rivets playing music. Or not. They're just gonna completely stop. I thought I was gonna have a moment here, but fuck's sake.